everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Book Talk, where we talk to the author of a book that I have read. We have with us today a poet, a writer, a teacher, and a Bhagavad Gita chanter, Jyoti Saraf. She is joining us from Kolkata. She has talked about her vivid experiences in her book called A Slice of Life. It is a poetry book. She aptly describes what she wants to convey through her poetry. So join me in a conversation with her and let us explore her book through her talk. Hi, Jyoti.
Hello, Lalita ji. Good to be here. Great to be here.
Thank you. You're welcome. So I would like to start by asking you, can you tell me what inspired you to write poetry?
So many things happen in life, and I have been observing at the age of 51 when I look back and I wanted to express myself in certain way without being very profound. I wanted it to be subtle, and what better way to express than poetry? So that is how my journey began.
I see. So my next question was going to be that with various literary forms available for us to express ourselves. So why did you choose poetry? I mean, the poem form, I mean to say.
Yes, actually, I have been reading so many since I belong to Kolkata, West Bengal, where poetry is the next medium expressing yourself. Be it Rabindranath Tagore, we all know, and the theatre which goes on in Kolkata, so many things that inspired me when I was a student, when I was growing up, or when I was a homemaker or a teacher. I would not get enough time to write stories which I would see around. And then poem was always very subtle, yet so perfect in the way they express themselves. So I chose this medium.
Oh, nice. I've read your book, of course, and it's really nice because every poem has a different message to give and a different story to tell. But before going there, I would like to ask you about the titles of your poems. How do you choose them?
Again, when we see different phases of life or different stages of a human being, and they all are divided, they all are so different, yet they are so interconnected. Like a whole cake, when we cut it into triangles and we eat it, that is the whole cake, but each slice makes a lot of difference. So that is how the name came, Slice of Life. And life is always like a cake, maybe a dark chocolate or very chocolatey or something else, all the flavors, but all combined together. So that's how the name came, the Slice of Life.
Oh, so nice. So, what themes or topics do you feel drawn to while writing poetry?
Whatever I'm observing a lot, basically, whenever I'm out or whenever I am near people whom I care or people whom I know or who know me, I've always been watching them. I've always been observing. So there is no central theme, it's for the teenagers, for the youth, for the women who are suffering and women who have come up much above their sufferings, and for the middle-aged people like us, and for so many people we see around. So the main theme is life. Life is full of so many interesting things, so many sorrows, so many joys, and we need to get into each small little thing, and that is how the main theme is just life.
Okay. Yes, life has so much to offer. You're right.
Yes, it does.
Jyoti, do you believe that poems act as bridges between individual experiences which foster a sense of shared humanity? Do you believe that?
Absolutely. See, when we read Shakespeare, when we read Keats, or whenever we go through the lines of Gulzar Saab, or whenever we read Harivansh Rai Bachchan ji, so we immediately connect. We feel maybe I would feel differently about a different poem, and you would feel differently about a different poem. But we all have places in that, and those great poets have always bridged that, from the poem till the time it reaches the humans, the people around us. So definitely it has a very strong connection, and we connect with it, we learn from it, and we move ahead. We take lessons from them. So that is what I have tried to inculcate in my poems. So that is how it goes.
Okay. How is your writing process, Jyoti?
Like, it's very random. It's so natural. It's a natural process. Like, I'm sitting in front of you. Your caring nature attracts me a lot. Immediately, within few minutes, something will come up which will make me write. It has to be that strong. And there is no particular time. I mean, if I am attracted by a puddle, if I'm going out, if I'm running in the rain, and a puddle attracts me, nature, if something, anything, I have to write it immediately. So no, that is how the theme comes.
Okay, nice. What do you hope the readers take away from your book, this Slice of Life?
Let me tell you one thing in this book, Slice of Life, is about joy, about sorrows, about love, about all the emotions when we think of happy, lesser happy, or whatever. But at the end of the poem, I have always tried to make it a positive one, make it a positive ending, so that people would always understand that whatever happens in life, any sorrow, anything, life has to move on. And if we take it in a positive manner, everything has to turn out to be very good. So I hope from all stages, from all, everybody would take it in a very positive manner. They would always have something to take back, something to understand, something to memorize, something to learn from.
Oh, yes, that's a beautiful thought.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Having talked about your writing process and the inspiration behind writing poems, I would like you to share the story behind a few of your favorite poems. I would like to start with my favorite ones first. I picked up two just now. So first is Oops, Love Hurts, and second is The Other Eye.
You had spoken about it in your podcast too. You had done a wonderful podcast, and it made my poems all the more meaningful, the way you expressed. So I found myself in those, like as a third person perspective, when you looked at those poems, when you read it. So it gave new meanings. When we read Bhagavad Gita, or whenever we are reading the book Secret by Ronja Bond, each time we read it, we find something new. So that's a new dimension you give to my poems. I needed to add it, Lalita ji. So coming to, Oops, Love Hurts, I have seen so many people suffering. At certain time, we always think that love never, fulfills all the needs. It hurts. And believe me, if it hurts, it really means the world. I mean, then you know that you are doing something right. If it is just a casual thing, it won't have that impact, that profound impact as it should have. So that's how this poem came. Oops, Love Hurts. I would like to read just two lines for me from here.
Please do. Yes.
Someone asked me, what is more scary, the feeling of love or the feeling of love lost? So these two emotions, when you have the love or you do not have the love, the feeling has to be very strong from inside. So that is how the poem goes. Yes.
So nice. And about the other one, The Other Eye.
The Other Eye, this was during the COVID times, I wrote it. And I was feeling very depressed, as I was not able to step out and I was not able to do things which I needed to do. So in those days, like I became, I needed to look inside myself. I needed to know that what am I? How am I going to survive? My mother, who was very unwell, who was in bed throughout the COVID times, I was looking after her. So she would not, for the reason that she would not catch any infection, I did not even step out of my door for 2 whole years. So those days when I looked inside myself and then I wrote this poem, this is very close to me. Until unless, if we need to look inside us, then what do we need to do? We need to close these, the the eyes which are there on the face. Then only that third eye enlightens, it brightens up. Close both your eyes to see with the other eye. What you witness will make you sigh. There is this ending I just wanted to share with you. Now, when I look and peep through the third eye, I find his soulfulness and unconditional love as my forever ally. I climbed up to reach a higher level with a lot of try, definitely would stay here forever, and my smile would never die. When you find yourself, when you locate yourself, when you know who you are. This is a very beautiful poem. Thanks for choosing this one. I really love this poem.
Yes, I loved it too. I would like you to share your favorite poems and the story behind it.
There are many, all my poems are based on some real life journeys and has to be.
Right.
But the thing is, maybe I've observed in other people, but there is this poem in the beginning poem which is named Fight with Might. I'll tell you in very small words. I was sitting in the hospital in front of my son, and he was he had a surgery done, which ended at 7:30 p.m. The previous night, and he was general anesthesia. And when he woke up in the morning, I did not want him to look into the screen and find out, what is happening around him. And it happened to be that his dream company, they had set up a interview for the next morning at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. And I was so scared. Then what would he do? He would not be able to sit up. But like a mother, it was the greatest moment for me. I was sitting in front of my son, seeing him giving the interview for which he had been preparing from ages. And only thing which I was hoping for, that he would not fall. He would not. He would be okay. I was not bothered about the interview. But for 4 to 5 hours, he sat there on the hospital bed in a semi-conscious state, and he gave the interview. And his interviewers were telling him not to do that, but he was, he accepted the challenge. So I just thought of all the youth around here. I mean, what challenges from their childhood, when they're sitting for the exams, when they're getting scolded, when they want to do better, when they're expected to get better results, and then the interview, then the marriage, wedding, and the life, so many things. I mean, each one of us, what do we say? Like, my challenges, what we need to do. But the thing is, think of their challenges. We don't, I mean, at least we are experienced, but they are not. And the way they move ahead, there is this 4 lines, just 2 lines rather. It gets harder to find the strength not to give up. Not to give up on your dreams, cause dreams are unlimited, and so are you. Take the punch and hit back. Each step is a step forward, holding on to the ground, having a calm mind, which is sound. So this is how I connected with the youth of our world. This is my salute to them. And there was this poem, it is a Hindi one. The name is Maharaj. My Bhagavad Gita trainer, he was like, he does beautiful paintings. He's based in Mumbai. And he told me to write a poem for his painting. And this poem I wrote for him as my Guru Dakshina. And he had painted elephants. So the name came to me, Maharaj Pati. And I connected with that, and I wrote, उसमें there are few lines. छोटा सा नाम है मेरा, पर करता हूँ बड़े बड़े काम. हूँ नहीं राजा जंगल का, पर रहता हूँ राजाओं के. मदमस्त है चाल मेरी, काया है विशाल मेरी, सूंड है ढाल मेरी, छेड़ोगे तो नहीं खैर तेरी. एक चीज है हाथियों के बारे में, अगर आप जानती हैं कि नहीं, कि वो हमेशा झुंड में रहते हैं, एक साथ सरवाइव करते हैं. फिर मैं लिखी हूँ कि अपने में रहना और अपनों में खुश रहना, यही है मेरी परंपरा, यही है मेरा असल व्यवहार. कोई फूलों के हार पहनाए तो सर झुका लो, नहीं तो कुचल दो दुश्मन का संसार. आजकल दुनिया ऐसी ही है, तो हमें वो वही पाठ पढ़ाते हैं. So this is my poem.
Nice.
Then when the Kolkata Book Fair happened, there were many kind of readers whom I met, whom I interacted with, and there were people from the police force who picked up this book, and the politician who read my poems aloud. I mean, they could connect with it. And there was this NRI gentleman who had come with his son to introduce him to the Kolkata book fair. Like this, there were different readers. So I just could understand that, yes, I am connecting with all the age groups. So
Right.
I'm talking about that couple who were from the police force. They had picked up this book only through one poem. The name of the poem is Weapons.
Okay. Right.
Like हम लोग क्या करते हैं, we know how to use weapons. Like मैं एक दो लाइन से शुरू करती हूँ तो you will understand. A politician's
जी.
power is his ruthless weapon. A man calls physical strength as his weapon. A woman rolling down tears are her weapons. A child's loud wail is known to be its weapon. A lion's ferocious paws is its vicious weapon, whereas a dharma guru calls religion his weapon. So that is how we have weapons for everyone, and we know how to use it. But at the end, I have ended with these lines. Believe me, weapons are used by cowards. Cowards we are not. Rather, we are empowered by humanity, divinity, and agility, which has immense productivity and ability. So we should believe in ourselves, the the upper one, and go ahead without using those weapons. So this is my
Right.
favorite.
Very nice. Thank you for reading it out to us.
Thank you so much. हिंदी की है, जब प्रोफेशनली लिखना शुरू करी थी. I used to write always, in my head, in my memories, I have always been writing. But when I got inspired and I was about to be published, तब ये सबसे पहली मैं पोयम लिखी थी, चांदी सी चमक, which I have lots in my hair. तो ये एक वुमेन की एक वुमेन का थॉट है, एक लेडी का थॉट है, जब वो मिडिल एजेड हो जाती है और उसके पास बहुत कुछ पाने को नहीं होता है, बहुत कुछ खोने को नहीं होता है, तो वो बैठे बैठे एक दिन आईने के सामने अपने आप को देख रही है और सोचती है, अरे ये मेरे बालों में ज्यादा सफेदी सफेदी सी है, लगता है कुछ ज्यादा ही धुल गए. नहीं, ऐसा तो नहीं, मैंने तो कम रुपयों वाले साबुन से धोए थे. कम रुपयों वाले कि एक औरत क्या करती है, हमेशा कॉम्प्रोमाइज करते करते आगे बढ़ती है और कॉम्प्रोमाइज में लाइफ बीत जाती है. लगता है कड़ी धूप में कुछ ज्यादा ही सूख गए, छांव तो चांदनी रातों में भी खोजी थी मैंने, ओह शायद इसी शीतल चांदनी से भर गए. लास्ट में वो जब लेडी अपने आप को देखने लगती है मिरर में, तो उसको ये ख्याल आता है, जब वो अपने सब जोड़ घटाव करती रहती कि आज मुझे ये मिला, जीवन में मैंने ये खोया, तो एंड में वो अपने आप से शी इंट्रोस्पेक्ट्स एंड देन शी रियलाइजेस कि हाँ शायद कुछ ठीक से पता नहीं, क्योंकि मैं तो अपने सफेद बालों की गिनती में उलझी थी. इतने में जिंदगी कहाँ से कहाँ पहुंच गई और मैं टोकरी में बटोरी खुशियां गिनना भूल गई. तीनों के आशीर्वाद, मुस्कानों और सद्भावनाओं से भरी है जिंदगी. ये विश्वास लेकर चलूंगी तो सफेद बालों में भी चांदी सी चमक आ जाएगी. कम रुपयों वाली कठोरता छत से भूल जाऊंगी. जिंदगी को हद से ज्यादा जी पाऊंगी. खुश रहूंगी और खुशियां बांट पाऊंगी. There are so many people around you who inspire you, the near and dear ones, our loved ones. भगवत गीता की क्लास कर रही थी, तो उस समय मैं लिखती थी और अपनी पोएम्स में अपने ग्रुप में सुनाती थी. There were so many people who encouraged me. I think भगवत गीता का मेरी लाइफ में बहुत बड़ा रोल है to sort me कि हाँ मैं ये कर सकती हूँ. To have that confidence, to have that belief in me. Yes, my loved one always told me that I could do this, and by the grace of Bhagwan Ji ki kripa se I have reached this far. So this is how. Lekin yes, my near and dear ones, my loved ones, my family, everybody has been, they have played major role in making me who I am. So I thank you everyone, and I thank God.
Of course. Jyoti, last but not the least, a special mention must go to the illustrations from your books. So every poem has one illustration, and they are so meaningful and beautiful. So can you tell us more about it?
I would love to, because I have worked really hard and
Mhm.
on this, because I love nature, as I told you before. So you
Mhm.
will find that in each of my illustration, nature plays a major role. Some kind of
Okay.
pond or a bush or a flower, or sleeping under a sky, or a
Mhm.
small little silk thread which comes straight from the nature. Everything
Mhm.
has taken its shape, and I have been really inspired by nature, and that's how I have tried to make them very interesting. I have
Okay.
personified those uh,
Mhm.
you know natural things into the realistic ways, and
Mhm.
have portray all my emotions. When we connect with the nature, then we are able to
Mhm.
express more, and that's how
Mhm.
these illustrations have found their way into my book.
Thank you for sharing it.
Yes, thank you.
Great. Thank you, Jyoti, for taking out time and coming on my show to talk about your book.
Thank you for
And
inviting me.
you're welcome. So, are you planning any other book?
Definitely very soon. Rather, I have written very interesting stories, and I am planning to publish them very soon, once
Okay.
at the end of the year or something like that, because they, again, those stories
Mhm.
are just not about any topic. They are about
Okay.
so many things which is happening around us. Even I have, thrillers, the murder mysteries, the
Oh,
romance, about teenagers'
everything.
life. I'm just giving you a peep in, and so that you would understand. But yeah, they are absolutely ready, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to read it.
Thank you so much. It would be my pleasure.
All the best for your book, and
Thank you
see
so
you
much.
again in another
See you
episode.
again very soon, and maybe we would sit and read good books together. You know what, my father, this I just want to
Mhm.
share something. I would like to say
Sure.
something. The
Yes.
Kolkata Book Fair being the biggest, the largest in India.
Okay.
So in those days when I was young, my father was a very avid reader, and he would read so many good books. He introduced me to the books, to the world of books. So he would hold my pretty little finger, small little finger, and he would take me around in the Kolkata Book Fair, and I would
Okay.
get bored. And he would make me pick up books. And then one he told me that one day you would write a book. He's no more. This is my. I dedicate this book to my father. He's no more.
Okay.
But he had told me that my book would be there on the stands, and people would be reading your stories, your poems. So this is
That's
how
nice.
I became a writer and author, I guess, by with his blessings, and that's how I just
True.
wanted
True.
to.
Yes, that's very important. I now know what is the inspiration for your reading and writing.
Even if I was not writing, there are people who tell me, why are you not writing? You must write. I mean, even if you're busy the whole day, you need to take out some precious time, some me time, and write something nice and beautiful. So this is
True.
like a work
True.
of art. I mean, it's just not, when you paint paintings on the brush stroke and everything, but even writing is a work of art, and one needs to concentrate, one needs to
True.
focus, one needs to adjust and go in a flow.
Right. Right. Absolutely. So all the best for your
Thank you so much.
upcoming books and see you soon.
See you very soon. And all the best to you,
Yes.
Lalita.
Thank you so much.
Bye to all my readers and all the lovely people around everywhere.
Thank you everyone for joining me in this conversation. Keep watching Language Talks. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.